Protests turned destructive in downtown Seattle tonight. Here's what we know. Since then, we have seen widespread looting. 200 members of the Washington National Guard have been called up to come into Seattle. 75 have been deployed to Seattle tonight. The other 100.
I am also taking swift and decisive action to protect our great capital, Washington, D.C. What happened in the city last night was a total disgrace. As we speak, I am dispatching thousands and thousands of heavily armed soldiers, military personnel, and law enforcement officers to stop the rioting, looting, vandalism, assaults, and the wanton destruction of property.
God bless you there, everyone. Alfred Johnson coming back to you again. Pleasure to talk to you. It's absolutely wonderful. These broadcasts are able to get out there to a bunch of folks. We appreciate the comments. We appreciate the reflections and everything else. And we even appreciate some of the criticism. Bring it. Bring it. Keep thinking. Keep thinking. Keep thinking. Bring legitimate criticism and keep thinking. All right? It's going to help you out in the long run. Very happy. Hey, also, but keep sharing as well. Let people hear this. Those of you that agree, you patriots that are out there, black, brown, and white, and oriental, whatever, keep sharing. People need to be able to hear how these policies are directly impacting the brown and the black race in a big way. Folks, this stuff is very, very important. Now, you do realize when I mention the word race, I just used it in the contemporary sense of the term. There really is only one race. There's just the human race. That's it. But we use the term race in modern time to speak about how much melanin we have in our skin and which part of the world we came from. So when you hear me use the word race, I'm just using the contemporary term with the understanding that there's really only one race. We're just humans. That's it. All right. Hey, but listen, I want to finish out on an idea that we spoke about on our last broadcast as we spoke about the wall, because again, we're hearing from people that, Trump mentioned that they're going to pay for the wall. They're going to pay for it. And, and they're making it so that, Mexico has to come up with billions of dollars in their hand and give it over to us. And then we want to stick with that narrow-minded way of thinking as if, no, that's the only way that you can pay is for them to give it like that. That's just ridiculous. Remember what I told you about places like Walmart, how they have to cover for theft? They pass that expense down to the consumer. That is, you and I are actually, in a very real way, paying for it. It's the increase in price. So they increase the price of their things just by a little. But when there's millions of people buying those products that they raise the price of by a little, that little bit of a price increase is worth millions of dollars, and sometimes even billions of dollars, but definitely millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars. So we're actually the ones paying for it. You didn't cut a check to them. You didn't just go and say, hey, listen, here goes some money. I'm going to give this to you to take care of the folks that are stealing stuff. Some of them, here goes. I'm going to go ahead and cut a check to you because this is me paying you. Folks, that's not the only way to pay. They'll just raise the price. And you are paying. You are paying that money just as sure as if you wrote a check for the theft or took the cash out of your pocket to pay for the folks who are stealing. It's the same. It's all the same. Whether you paid a little bit of extra for your sugar smacks or whatever, either way, that money's out of your pocket and it's being used to pay for that, to pay for the theft. The same thing goes with the wall, people. Don't you realize that when the wall comes up, it means less people coming over to the United States and getting on our social programs? That alone is billions of dollars over a process of time, multiple billions. Then there's also other items. When the criminal element comes over, do you know our criminal justice system has to pay for that? Who pays for them to be in jail? Who pays for all the damages? Who pays for that? The American people. You do. Increased taxes pay for that. We have to pay for it. However, if we're able to develop a strong immigration plan that includes the wall and they're not able to just come over at will. No, the Mexicans and those people from South America, you take care of your own criminals. By them not coming into our prisons and into our communities, well, we don't have to pay for that. Okay? They're having to pay for it. The fact that they have to pay for their own means that it's coming out of their pocket and America's not paying it. So, and then add that on to the trade deals that the president just made, that USMCA. Add the wall, the immigration control, the fact that we're not having to shell out billions of dollars in social programs. We're not having to take care of criminals that are coming over and putting and flooding our jail systems with them. We don't have to pay for that. We don't have to pay for that any longer. Those numbers are drastically cut. That represents billions in savings. And then when you renegotiate trade deals, we're going to end up making a bunch more money. Remember what I mentioned about the trade imbalances? Once those balances are made, which is what the president did with that United States, Mexico, Canada trade agreement that replaced an older trade program called NAFTA. When he balanced that trade out, what that means is America is now making billions that we were not making before. Those deals alone pay for that wall. You understand, everyone? They're paying for it. Even if they're not taking that cash right out of their pocket or writing a check that says this is for the wall. No, the combined immigration plan and fair trade plan pays for the wall. They're paying for it. It's just the way it is, everybody. Beautiful stuff. Hey, listen, we're going to move on to some other things to help bring some clarity to you. Listen to this one. The Trump administration is promoting second chance hiring to give former inmates the opportunity to live crime-free lives and find meaningful employment. Again, I commented on this a little bit earlier, but folks, I just wanted to hear this is just, listen, the second chance hiring that gives former inmates the opportunity to live crime-free lives and find meaningful employment. Trump pushed that and is constantly throwing money in that direction to help our brothers and sisters that are coming from lockdown to be able to ease their way, to smooth their way back into normalcy, back into a life where they're able to be productive. And of course, if they're able to find a job, it helps them to stay crime-free. You know, what ends up sending many of our brothers and sisters back to prison is that they come out of the prison system with a little bit of money, with a bus pass, and then with a bad criminal record, and people don't want to hire them. So they're left with either I go back to do what I was doing before or I suffer my way through recovery. Folks, unless God really came in and really altered their lives, because it would take a conversion for them to do what would need to be done, in order for them to go through the pain. That is, let's imagine Trump didn't give any help. The amount of character that it would take an individual to go through the pains of the rejection, going from job to job when they don't want to hire you, but you just keep pushing, and sometimes you have to start at a job where they're paying you nothing, and then you have to work your way up. The kind of character that requires is really something, and that might not be the kind of character that you learn in prison. Character is tough to come by, and it takes time, and it takes choices, but it takes big choices. You got to take care of business, and you can't even get a job. Well, then, what our brothers and sisters end up doing, they go back to what they know. And then they end up right back into the system. Okay? If we're able to smooth the way for them to make their way back into the society, get them some jobs, some good paying jobs, at least, hey, get them moving a bit, give them a second chance. Well, then next thing you know, their return back to prison decreases. This is what Trump did. Folks, this is what Trump did. No, this is not a matter of opinion. This is not that. No, this is what Trump did. And it directly impacts our race. I mean, what are you going to do about that? Are you going to be one that now is going to try to reverse course on our brothers that are coming from lockdown? By the way, Trump did this. Not Obama, not Bush 2, not Clinton, not Bush 1. Listen to me. Trump did this. These criminal justice reform things and this kind of second chance program that's coming from the Trump administration is substantially helping our fellow men and our brothers that are coming from lockdown. Okay, and it's happening now. 90% of those who are benefiting from these programs, it happens to be our people, black and brown. And what are you going to do about it? You're going to fight the president? You're going to bring somebody else in who had his whole lifetime to deal with this and didn't do it? Finally, the president does it in 3.5 years. And what are we going to do? We're going to criticize the president? By the way, I'm not giving you an opinion I'm giving you. These are facts. This is what's happening. Now, I need for you to go ahead and wake up because we need you. My brothers and sisters, we need you. We need for you to vote correctly. Keep the president going. These are things that are actually happening that the media is keeping from you, but you can find out yourself. But they're keeping it from you. Misinformation, disinformation, irrelevant information, videos about this and that and this and that just keep you distracted, keep you hating, keep you venting, and then hide all of this from you. My goodness, my goodness. So these are amazing things. How about this one? Trump's Department of Justice and the Board of Prisons launched a new Ready to Work initiative to help connect employers directly with former prisoners. Listen to this, folks. They actually created a system that helps employers, business owners, that do want to help us, that do want to help our race, that do want to help the brown race, to be able to smooth their way. They are able to now look into a system, a database, and find them to hire them. A system, a database that the president himself pushed to create and funded. And now it's growing even right now. And these people are being hired. This is a beautiful thing that's taking place, everyone. Now you have the choice. You're going to plan on stopping that? And by the way, this was done with Trump. Do I need to repeat the former presidents again that didn't do this? This is Trump. He's doing it for the benefit of our race because it's affecting us more than the white race. It's just the way it is. Over 90% of those benefiting from these criminal justice reforms is black. Black. Okay, now what are you going to do about that? You going to remain a hater? Okay, all right. Well, hey, let's look at something right here again. We're going to now start talking about something else the president has done. It's called the opportunity zones. Now, I spoke about it just a little bit, but hey, listen to this. President Trump's historic tax cut legislation included new opportunity zone incentives to promote investment in low-income communities across the country. Let me tell you what these opportunity zones are. The president encouraged businesses, big businesses or small, to go into low-income areas. Open your business in those low-income areas, economically depressed areas, economically underserved areas. Risk it for the sake of our fellow man. Build your business there. And here's what we will do for you. We want you to build there and hire people from that community to help them out. What we will do for you, we will cut some of the business taxes, maybe perhaps the capital gains taxes. We will cut some of those business taxes by you going and risking your business and opening in low-income areas. Hire the people from that area, train them, but bring them. These are called opportunity zones. These are over nearly 8,764 opportunity zones or communities across the country are benefiting from this program. Over 8,700 communities have been targeted as opportunity zones. The president giving incentive for businesses to come into the low-income communities, most of which is comprised of us, the black and the brown. Am I right about that? Encouraging them to go ahead and open their business there and hire from that community, and the president gives them lower taxes to do so. Now you might say, yeah, but by lowering the taxes, they're going to be able to make more money. Of course they are. Well, you think that what? They're not supposed to make money when they come into our communities? No, they're going to make the money. The question is, are we going to make some money? Are we going to grow? Are our communities going to be enhanced? And I tell you, yes. They bring those businesses in and they hire and properly train and offer those kind of opportunities. Yes, we are going to benefit. It's just the way it is, everybody. It's called the free markets. And the president is incentivizing these companies to come and serve our community. Folks, how are you fighting against that? It doesn't make any sense to fight against that. None, zero. No matter what you say, it ain't going to make any sense to fight against that. Let those businesses come. Let them hire our people. Let them do proper training. Make certain that we have these jobs. Combine this with the president helping prisoners to be able to get jobs at some of these very businesses as well. And you can see how that can turn a low-income community around. Folks, why would you fight that? And by the way, this was done under Trump. Do I need to mention the former presidents that did not do this? Trump did this. Opportunity zones. Look it up yourself. The opportunity zones. Beautiful stuff. All right, let's see. What else? What else? Wow, wow, wow. Opportunity zones are expected to spur $100 billion in long-term private capital investment in economically distressed communities across the country. It's expected to spur $1 billion in long-term private capital investment. That is, businesses coming and starting in our communities. $100 billion in those kind of investments. Beautiful stuff, everybody. Beautiful stuff. This is beautiful stuff. Folks, all we have to do is just listen. Listen, see what's going on, and listen. And get ready to vote the way we know we should. Now, I respect you and I respect your thinking. Now, do the right thing. Trump. Hey, listen, go ahead and share this. A bunch of folks need to hear what's going on. They need to have it communicated in a way that they can understand. I'm hoping you're able to understand clearly, right? Good, strong thinkers. And we need you. We need you, okay? God bless you now. We'll talk to you again.
I am also taking swift and decisive action to protect our great capital, Washington, D.C. What happened in the city last night was a total disgrace. As we speak, I am dispatching thousands and thousands of heavily armed soldiers, military personnel, and law enforcement officers to stop the rioting, looting, vandalism, assaults, and the wanton destruction of property. We are putting